County and FM. And streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
It is a beautiful Friday morning. It's time for the First Federal program. 48 degrees. We're joined by Evan. Gotcha. Good morning, sir.
I never remember that it can get that chilly at night in the summer.
I don't remember it either, but luckily we're not officially in summer yet, so it's still spring.
You're
so
right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. You're always good with the technicalities. I do remember a couple summers I cut the greens and did a little weed eating at the golf course here in town in Mill Creek, and you did have to wear a few layers.
Yeah.
Before the sun came out and warmed things up.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'd go down to wearing like a very, thin tank top.
Yep.
Because you're just sweating everywhere.
Yep, you shed off everything else and you're in the shorts and the tank top, and people are going, put some gloves back on. No, that's only my experience.
Well, I am grateful for a little clean air around here.
Yes.
At least it's not as crazy looking as the pictures from the Northeast.
Before I realized that the wildfires were happening, I saw those and I went, man, those are some good images. They look real. And they were real.
No, it did look like a movie scene.
Yeah, that's definitely what I think of when I think of post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah. I was thinking of like I Am Legend or something, but I'm not sure if they actually had any air problems in that one. That one just scared me, so that's what first. Well, June is Great Outdoors Month, so I'm grateful for what we've got here in our county and locally, and in honor of that, we're going to be joined in a little bit by our local conservation officer for the DNR, Jon Cook.
Okay.
He's going to share with us a little bit about what a great spot we're in here in Fulton County and Rochester, and a little bit more about the outdoors. It's a great time. We're finally able to get out and enjoy it.
Yes, we are.
So our trivia question this morning is related to that.
All right.
See if you know your stuff.
Probably.
You good with lakes?
No.
Yeah, all right. Tanner.
I think we have 5 Great Lakes.
Do you know the acronym to remember those?
I used to.
We learned it in school.
Yeah, it's like home or something.
Holmes.
Yeah, Holmes.
You would have forgotten Superior, but good job. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 out of 5. That's 80%. You passed. You got a B minus.
I'll take it.
Okay. What's the largest natural lake in Indiana? I'll give you 4 choices, and then we'll see if John knows this one, and circle back at the end of the show on the answer.
All right.
Lake Monroe. Do you know where that one is?
No.
Okay, I think it's near Bloomington.
Okay.
Monroe County. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Lake Wawasee.
Okay.
You've heard of that? Okay. All right. I was giving you that one. Gibson Lake.
Okay.
I don't know where that one is. Tanner?
Owensville?
Must be southern Indiana.
Yeah.
Geist Lake.
Down around Indianapolis.
Okay.
Lake Manitou didn't make the list, so I think.
No, but it's like 6th or something, isn't it? Or top 10 maybe?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
So not bad.
I'll think on this and see if I can figure it out.
Okay. All right, Tanner, what about a little sports update this morning? Get us charged up here.
Yeah, busy week in sports, locally and nationally. Got big, exciting local sporting event going on tomorrow. Caston girls softball team won semi-state.
Yes.
We were talking last week, they're the first program in school history to win a regional. They're the first program in school history to win a semi-state.
Might as well just go all the way.
Might as well become the first program to win the state title tomorrow. They will be playing Tecumseh. I believe that's how you pronounce that school's name. That'll be at 4:30 down at Purdue University at Bellinger Field. So
what a fortunate thing that they play those games up here.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, not too far to drive.
Yeah.
For the Caston community down there to West Lafayette. So.
And you're wearing your Caston colors today.
I am wearing my Caston red today.
Yes.
There we go.
That was generous of you to say.
Yeah, it was very generous, Paul.
I've never seen
that.
Tanner in red before today.
Very rare, and usually when I do, I get another team associated with wearing red. Maybe that's why I don't wear red too often. But,
Yeah. You got that when you walked in, so we're trying to come up with other things to help you feel a little better.
It is for good luck for Caston.
I was talking to Chuck Evans last night, Caston principal, and they're all charged up for tomorrow, and sold out their allotment of tickets, so it's going to be a big crowd there tomorrow. So good luck to the Lady Comets, and hope they can finish their story. It's been a fun ride the last few years for that program. That program's been knocking on the door. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get out of the sectional the last few years, but this year they've done it all the way to the state
We're rooting
title.
for it.
Yeah.
And a quick note on the tickets, since they are sold out, don't activate those tickets until you're asked to do so at the gate. Otherwise, they're no good.
There you go. So
Would hate for you to waste your money and activate them ahead of time and get there and they go, oh, sorry.
yeah, according to him, they sold out their allotment, but maybe there's still a way you can get a ticket if you're interested. I'm not sure. Call Casting Schools.
There's
I'm
always a
not
way.
sure they can provide
Oh yeah,
information.
they've got all the information you need.
Yeah. National Sports Thing, NBA Finals Game 4 is going to be tonight in Miami. The Nuggets took Game 3 pretty convincingly. Kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be a pretty tight one there after the Heat kind of stole Game 2.
I did too.
But some of the Nugget guys who struggled in Game 2 did not struggle in Game 3. The Joker, Nikola Jokic, triple-double in Game 3. He's pretty good.
Almost automatic.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Weird to say.
And Jamal Murray added 30-plus points himself. So I think it's the Nuggets series to lose.
Me too.
I think if they would have lost that game the other night, it would have got really, really interesting. But it wouldn't shock me if they win the next two and wrap up the series, in all honesty.
Miami's gritty.
They are gritty. They're very
Denver should
gritty.
win.
Denver's the better team, but Miami's been facing better teams all along. They keep finding ways to win. So kudos to their coach, Eric Spoelstra, who at one time I did not think was a good coach.
Same with me.
He's proved me wrong.
Yep.
The NHL, Game 3 was last night. The Florida Panthers found a way to beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights in overtime. So now it's 2 games to 1.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights are one of the most successful.
Absolutely.
What would you call
Expansion
it?
teams.
Expansion team. Yeah.
This is their second Stanley Cup Finals appearance, and I think they've been around 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
that's pretty good.
Drafted
Yeah.
by them.
Yeah. So the Panthers still have a shot. If they would have lost last night, I would have put money on the Golden Knights to sweep them. But
Yeah.
still hanging in there. The golf world was in the news this week. Took everybody by surprise, I think, Tuesday
I thought you were
morning.
going to lead off with that.
I thought about it. But, the PGA Tour, the DP World Tour, which used to be known as the European Tour, and Live Golf are forming a merger. Details still need to be worked out. There's a lot to figure out there, but pretty shocking news from anybody who follows the golf world.
You know, in the day of like instant news and social media and Twitter and leaks and stuff, like this came out of nowhere.
Came out of nowhere. It sounded like it was a conversation held between 5 or 6 men for about 7 weeks. How it didn't leak at all is amazing, like you kind of said. I mean, good thing they didn't let any of the players know, because I think the players are about the worst secret keepers in sports, or the golfers. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think there's going to be any like rift between the groups of players?
Oh, I do. I still think there are. Maybe not all of them, but a couple. We'll see what happens. And I think, if done correctly, which is a big statement, it could be a really good thing for the golf fan in the long run, because you'd still be guaranteed to get the best players in the world playing in big tournaments. But I don't know.
I'm thinking of like a heroes and villains.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know what it's gonna look like, to be honest. It was shocking news to me on Tuesday when a friend texted me the link. I thought it was at first, without seeing what site it was come from, like this is a fluff piece or something. There's no way. And then it was CNBC. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe there's something to this. So
Maybe.
I think you said the CNBC call because it came out during the working hours.
Yeah.
Good
It would
job,
be.
Tanner. I'm proud of you for that.
It would be any other site. If it
A
was
business
afterward.
site. Okay. What about our tidbits this morning?
yeah, I got some tidbits here on this day. 1934, Donald Duck made his first appearance in a cartoon. The
Ah,
cartoon was The Wise Little Hen.
okay.
He's been around for a while.
A little
Quickly became a star. That was
Yes.
a long time ago.
Long time. On this day in 1989, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, premiered in the
Is
U.S.
that a movie?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
See, I'm not a big Star Trek guy, so I don't know if that was a movie or
I
a series,
didn't
but
really watch
with the
this
Arctic
kind of
World
one,
5.
so.
Movies were kind of before our time.
Yeah.
On this day in 1995, the Brady Bunch movie based on the 1970s
I
TV
did see that
series,
one.
premiered in the UK. I've seen that too, so I am aware of that. Two more here. On this day in 2010, the Chicago Blackhawks beat the Philadelphia Flyers 4-3 in overtime for a 4-2 series win. It was their first championship for Chicago, for the Blackhawks since 1961.
Wow.
They would go on to win a couple more
Yeah,
the following
they won
years.
3
Yep.
altogether.
Now they're in part of a rebuilding stage, but they got the #1 draft pick coming up, which they're pretty fired up for that. So, on this day last year, we were just talking about the controversial Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series got underway, and with that, the PGA suspended 17 participating players. So
I bet those 17 have their job backs now.
that's part of it. We'll see if
And a
they
big
get
bank
penalized.
account.
Yeah, if they get penalized at all, if they want to come back, it's all part of those details they have to work out.
Yeah.
Only 2 days today, so short list.
All right.
I
National,
like this first one.
National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Okay.
Now, when I was younger, I didn't care for that, maybe I didn't think of it. It's really good, sweet and sour, a little bit going on.
It's all right. Yeah, I can.
It's a sleeper.
It's something I don't want every day or anything, but I can do it once in a
Not a
while.
big rhubarb fan.
No,
I'm getting the look.
Even with a lot of sugar.
I've never tried it with a lot of sugar. Maybe.
well, there you go.
Does help.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll try the strawberry rhubarb.
I wouldn't go raw on that.
All right.
And it's National Donald Duck Day, of course,
Yeah.
with
Nice, Tanner.
1934.
Can you talk like him?
No, I could try, but I'd make an
No.
absolute fool of myself, so I'm not going
I used to be able to, but then I stopped doing it. And
to. Now you
You
lost
want to give it a shot? Just for fun?
How about
No, thanks. Alright. What about some events coming up here locally?
Yeah, I got some exciting events going on. One event's taking place at the Akron Downtown Community Park tonight. That's Friday night live music in the park. The Highway 30 band will be performing tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. So a free event. There'll be food vendors there as well.
Got a nice spot for
Yeah,
that.
they do. So I saw the banner this morning. That I think they're going to have 1 or 2 bands the next few months throughout the summer come downtown in Akron and perform. So a nice little concert series they're going to be doing in the summer there. So go down there, take a chair with you, and enjoy some live music. The Opening of the Lake event's being held at the Rochester Moose tomorrow. We had Austin Shepard and Grant Downs of the Moose Lodge on 2 weeks ago to talk about that. But just a reminder, there's a couple events going on. 8 a.m. tomorrow is boat education.
Yes.
1 p.m. is the boat parade. Always call it the boat parade. And then the 2500 reserve drawing is going on from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
tomorrow. And if it's like past years, according to them, tickets are probably already sold out for that.
Yeah. You can still
You
call
can
and
still
double
call,
check.
yeah,
I wouldn't wait
but-
till tomorrow.
But yeah, that's a good point. And then at 8 p.m., Rory and the Rhythm Riders will be performing. So
Okay.
more live music going
Yeah.
on.
Nothing wrong with some good live music.
And the Times Theater is going to be hosting a movie ministry this Sunday at 2 p.m.
Yeah, they've been doing this. I think it's sponsored by Faith
I
Outreach.
think you're right.
And they've been doing several of these on Sundays. And Julie Schimbarger was telling me they're averaging about 200 people
That's great.
for these movies. This one's interesting. I saw on their Facebook site. It's the George Foreman story.
Interesting.
Yes.
I think he became like a minister or something after his fighting
Like his
days.
boxing.
I don't know the story, so maybe I should go check it out.
And you should, then you can report back.
Yeah,
I wonder if he got ordained before or after the George Foreman grill.
the grill. That's gotta be one of the most popular, like,
Yeah.
items that you.
There are people now who
Sell the
don't know who
commercial.
George Foreman is
Yeah.
unless they're talking about
That
it.
infomercial was classic.
Oh yeah, and here's a little interesting story. Hulk Hogan, who we all know for different reasons,
Yeah.
he was offered that grill and turned it down for a thermos instead. I think he regrets that a little bit.
Maybe.
But I don't know if his infomercials would have been as successful,
Probably not.
but
Yeah, George had a lot of personality.
yeah,
Yeah.
George made the right call. I
He
guess.
said had, but I think he's still alive.
Yeah, he is,
That's
yeah.
kind of
He
an
is.
insult. Sorry,
Yeah.
George.
I
Well, he
seen
just
that
doesn't do
commercial.
the live stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wonder how you fare after getting hit in the head so many times.
Yeah,
Those guys last past their 40s, going after the title again.
that's true. But
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
No.
Amazing. Okay, money news. This surprised me actually. S&P is up over 10% this year.
That's good.
Doesn't that seem odd?
Yeah.
It's the way
Who would have guessed that?
the economy feels right now, but actually, jobs are going well. Employment, inflation's been coming down a little bit. It's not quite as fast, but it's below 5% annual rate now, so things are getting a little bit better the way we need them to, so that's great. So hopefully that continues at the right pace and lands at the right spot.
Yeah.
Can you guarantee that, Paul?
Nope.
Okay, me neither. Paul, do you have an extra house to sell by chance?
I do not.
Is that I wish I did.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's not many on the market now. Summer, there's a few more coming up
Right.
that you could potentially buy, but there's just a lack of housing. It's not just our area. It's all around. That's because people that got the 2 3/4% 30-year mortgage rate, they made the best deal of their lifetime.
Steal.
You gotta hang on to that. So that's kind of slowing housing down a little bit, but we'll see what happens there. You got to get on it if you're looking to buy something. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right, First Federal. We've got our 10-month 5.1% APY CD going on right now.
Fantastic.
So reward those savers out there.
Yes.
So we'd love to open one of those for you. We also have some different lengths of time if you're interested in something that maybe 10 months doesn't fit your needs very well. You should come in and talk to us, and we can see if there's a different length of time we can come up with a good rate for you. But that's something we're really excited about. Want to make sure to get the word out on that. Also, simply free checking account.
Yeah. Can't beat it.
Consumers or business, you get a free gift when you open one up. So we'd love to help you with that too. I haven't tried out the LED lamp speaker, have you?
Yeah, it works pretty well.
Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I need to check that out.
And tomorrow's the last day for the option of 2 gifts. Next week we start our next cycle of gifts.
What's that one?
It's a Cool Gear tumbler. And I know I tease bringing in the gifts a lot. I'm gonna have to bring this in because everybody's got to see this to see what I'm talking about. It's not your everyday tumbler.
I'm gonna text you Thursday night.
Please do,
to remind
because it is pretty interesting.
We got this coming out at the right season too.
Yeah.
This is definitely a summer tumbler.
All of our branches do a different gift display each cycle. This is going to be a fun one to see what they come up with for this gift. So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Also, we've got a couple of home loan specials going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you do happen to find that special home and you get to be the highest bidder on that, we have a great deal for you. That's $1,000 lender credit towards your standard closing costs on all sellable loans that we have, fixed rate. That'll be disclosed between now and June 30th, so you still have a little bit of time on that.
Yep.
Or if you're just looking at maybe refinancing, maybe you'd like to do a project on your home, we also have a $750 lender credit towards standard closing costs on that product.
Okay.
So a couple good deals there. If you're in that market, we'd love to help you out with that. Also, still not too late to think about your retirement.
Nope.
I don't want you retiring too early, Paul, because we got a good thing going.
Yeah, no.
Maybe you can plan for it now,
Yes.
so that at the right time you could. So you have to talk to Mark Blubar, Brian Bell, in our financial services department for more information on kind of getting things lined up and you can make some decisions now that will impact the quality of opportunity that you have in retirement.
Okay.
We are proud to be the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best, Paul. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. And our NMLS number is 399927.
And that makes us legal.
All right, now we can get to the fun part of the show. I want to welcome Jon Cook to the mic. Hi, John.
How are you doing this morning, Evan?
I'm doing great. John, you're our local conservation officer.
That's what they say.
I don't run into you very often. In fact, this
That's
is
a good thing, right?
the first time we met. Yeah, Randy was saying, well, that might be a good thing, but
No,
that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, that's not true at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have you on Great Outdoors Month. This is a really fun time. We've got, in Indiana, we go through some nasty winters sometimes, and getting able to, get the short sleeves and shorts out and start doing the outdoor activities. We have a great summer season too. And so I think it's fun to celebrate Great Outdoors Month. I want to talk with you a little bit about that this morning.
Yeah, that's great. It's been really warm here lately. So not being outdoors, you gotta get, not unless you have good air conditioning, right?
Well, and one of the benefits of your job is probably getting a good tan.
It's getting there.
You're looking good already.
A lot of vitamin D, man. A lot of vitamin D.
Well, as a guy that, spends some time outdoors and stuff, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got here, then got involved with DNR.
So this is my 17th year. I became a full-time Fulton County officer in 2013. Just always had a passion for the outdoors, hunting, fishing. I grew up, my wife was a Laker, Tippecanoe Lake, so I grew up.
It's a nice one.
Oh, it's a beautiful lake.
We didn't have that on our list, but I like that lake.
We'll talk about that maybe a little bit.
Okay.
So just the outdoors took me there, and here I am.
Well, it's a neat career path, and I don't remember it being one in junior achievement where they show you the different careers in your town or something. This is kind of a sleeper one that I wish I would have been told about. I think I would have liked it.
Yeah, it's one that I think if you're involved in the outdoors, you'll know about it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Really deep involved with the outdoors.
Well, tell us, thinking of outdoors, about DNR. Okay, Indiana DNR, probably a department. What's the DNR looking to do overall? And then tell us a little bit about the impact here locally too.
So I kind of, just a real brief rundown what the Department of Natural Resources is. I kind of describe it as like a school system sometimes.
Okay.
You have your English department, your health department, history, whatever. We're the law enforcement division, and there's different divisions within the DNR that protect, enhance, or bring things to the public as far as outdoor recreation, outdoor things to do outdoors, fish and wildlife,
sustainability,
whatever it is. Yeah, care for the outdoors. So we've got parks, recreation areas, public access points. We try to help with lake associations and things like that.
Oh, that's great.
The lakes.
I know you've had a great partnership here with this local one.
Well, our lake association is a great lake association. Really involved with Lake Manitou, and we've got other smaller lake associations that care for their lakes. So.
Well, let's focus in a little bit more on our region and area here,
yeah.
If you don't mind. What area do you actually cover, John?
Fulton County.
Okay.
Fulton County.
So you're our guy.
I'm the Fulton County assigned officer. Yeah. I'll patrol outwards, but Fulton County.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the interesting places we've got outdoors here. What are some of your favorites?
Well, favorites?
Yeah.
I like the county all around. I told you earlier, we're a diamond in the rough, right? Place. Fish and wildlife areas. We've got plenty of ag. Brings a lot of fish and wildlife activity. We've got rivers that are running through the main river, Tippecanoe River, and we've got some public bodies of water lakes that people can access.
What about the park system?
In the Fulton County Parks, we got a partnership they've got a partnership with us that help maintain some of the public access points on the river, and they're very involved in keeping that active for people or attainable for people to get into the river at a clean spot.
That's great. So. Thinking of recreation, I think of fishing because that's what I like to do. What are some of the other things that folks are engaged in that you observe?
This summer we're going to be on the lakes boating.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that opening of the lake.
Yeah, we're going to be getting involved with the boating season. So that's kind of this season, and as the season progresses, we'll get into our hunting seasons. Squirrel will start opening up. Migratory waterfowl, the deer season. And as we get, hopefully, when it gets colder, we might get into some ice, maybe. I think we only had
It wasn't good for ice fishing last winter, was it?
So we'll get into ice, and then as we progress back into spring, it's in the turkey hunting and open up more of the spring fishing. So the job brings different aspects throughout the whole year.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So right now we're looking at the boating season, and we're going to be on the water public bodies of water or the Tippy River, helping people get through safely and legally if they're doing activities such as fishing and that, just make sure they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and those laws are in place. You said legally, thinking laws and guidelines, regulations on how to do these things properly. Those are important. Talk to us about why those are in place. Because when I was younger, I'm like, oh, I wonder why you can only catch a certain number of fish or of this type or those kind of things.
Those are the kind of questions that I ask the kids in my hunter ed class.
All right.
So why do we have these laws? Well, you know, if someone just went out and started catching all the fish they wanted, right? We're gonna probably put a hampering on that natural resource. So we've got to place laws. It's for safety aspects. It's for managing the species or managing that particular game, even the environment. So those laws are in place for a reason, and we're there to try to enforce those outdoor laws.
Okay, now you mentioned education, hunting class and different things. What are some of the opportunities for us to learn about these and so that we're following them?
Well, tomorrow I think Tanner mentioned that we're going to have a boater education class.
That's right.
So we're going to do that over at the Moose Lodge. So every now and then we'll try to get, every other year we try to work into a boater education course and inform the public of the laws for boating laws and rules. Then we have hunter education courses. We give snowmobile courses.
Oh, nice.
So those are the things that we try to get out to the public to educate and get them well aware of what they can and cannot do.
So we were talking a little bit earlier before the show started about a couple of species that I'm thinking of some of the regulations have helped kind of protect. We're actually observing some of these things now.
Yeah.
Bald eagles.
Yeah.
When I was younger around here, we saw a lot of neat things, but that was one thing I never saw.
I didn't either.
Wild turkeys, turkey hunting season. I never even heard anyone talking about hunting wild turkeys. I never saw one when I was a kid.
And they're well established. Yeah.
That's exciting opportunities for our kids growing up with some of those things that, you know, we never had that opportunity.
In a world where you see a lot of habitat that's being taken away, but yet we're still able to maintain a population or bring back a population or species that's now viewable to the whole public. So.
Well, I had a question for you, John. Lake Manitou is kind of an interesting lake. Obviously, I think it was some smaller ones dammed up to make kind of a bigger lake way back when, before you and I were around or thought of. But there's actually a lot of like undeveloped shoreline on our lake. That seems kind of unique to me. Just from other lakes I've driven around in our areas that are pretty much all housed up.
Well, you know, it is a unique body of water. That whole south section of the lake is natural wetlands, and that's a DNR property.
Okay.
And it's protected, and that's a sponge. The whole wetlands is a sponge, if you think of it.
Yeah.
That kind of filters a lot of the water that comes into Manitou, and then as Manitou progresses, it goes into the Tippy River.
Interesting.
So, I mean, there's a lot of importance to Manitou Lake.
The watershed flow and how that works.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not super big checking social media all the time anymore. I used to do more than I do now.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get some of my time back.
Yep.
To do some fun things like that. But I see like fish pictures constantly from like Tippecanoe River, Lake Manitou. I've seen all kinds of species, like even walleye.
Yeah.
I thought I had to go up to Canada or something to fish for walleye.
No, you can go. Indiana's got a vast amount of fish species and game fish that people pursue. So we've got it. It's just a matter of getting out there, right?
Yeah.
Get out there.
I know. Maybe I need to delete Facebook to make sure I got enough time out there. But I want to support Tanner, what he's doing for us on First Federal too. Okay, I had another burning question for you, John. Okay, some people have like a private pond or gravel pit or something. Does DNR ever get involved with like private resources at all, or is it just public?
Public bodies of water.
Okay.
That's our job. Once you have a private pond, you
probably contract with somebody to help you. Or...
You're all kind of on your own. Put fish and things like that in that. So
okay,
that's your own gig.
Okay. All right. Now I I've asked you about several things here locally. Where's your favorite outdoor place in the state of Indiana? Do you have one?
They're all, there's many. You know, the boys down south call that God's country.
Maybe because some of the canyons or hills and
the
stuff.
hills, but I always say that this is God's country up here. We've got just an array of different, you know, ag fields, and if you go in certain spots, we've got sandy areas, we've got prairie areas, we've got the river, we've got wooded properties. There's a bunch of things around here in the state of Indiana. So to tell you which one's my favorite,
I like it. This guy likes them all. That's what we need to learn here today, folks. Is you got to like it all the variety.
Yeah, it's we've got a unique community here in Fulton County.
Well, I know we've never run into each other before this morning, but I'm hoping we do now.
Yeah.
In the future, when I'm out checking out some of our areas.
Legal.
Well, yeah. It wouldn't be for any violations.
He doesn't want to, you know, have to.
You know, maybe on the Tippy River or something. You know, the river is. We've got. See, and that's another thing in Fulton County. We've got 4 public access points on our river.
That's amazing.
You go to. I gotta brag, man, about Fulton County Tippy River. Our river is real clean. This is a really nice river that runs through Tippy, and it comes, you know, it goes through Kosciuszko County.
That's right.
Up through the big waters, but it's a nice river, and we've got 4 accessible points on this river to allow people to kayak and canoe, whether they're just floating down the river, you know, or wanting to go fishing. So maybe down the river. Right?
Okay, I think
Working
I
on
feel
your
the
tan or whatever?
yeah. I think I feel the nudge, and I think this is what I need to accomplish for this summer is to.
Float the river.
Yeah, either get a little John boat where I could do some safe fishing, maybe out of a canoe. But I need to do a little practice first so I don't tip it, and get into that. I've got a cousin that's into bass fishing from a kayak. It's a thing.
That is a thing.
And I've
you know,
never seen
lakes,
that.
Yeah, one of our lakes in the southern portion of Niona and South Mud, that tends to be a hot spot for these kayak bass tournaments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really cool little thing that's going on. Yeah.
Well, I know we got a good bait shop down there. I need to go talk to them about that. Maybe they could give me some pointers.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do is when I catch my trophy bass this summer, based on some of these tips from John, I'm going to send him that picture and say, "Hey, look, thanks for the nudge. Got it done."
Yeah. Now, make sure you answer. You got that answer on
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Do you have any clue?
Let's let Paul guess first.
Oh.
Put the pressure on him, and then John, you can back clean up and
I'll
make sure we
try.
get it home, okay? The biggest lake in Indiana: Lake Monroe, Lake Wawasee, Gibson Lake, or Geist Lake?
I'm gonna go Geist Lake.
Okay, why can't that be true, John?
So Geist and Monroe, they're reservoirs.
Okay.
So they're not even natural lakes. So take those out. So now it breaks it down.
Okay, so now we have Wawasee or Gibson.
Wawasee.
You got it, man.
Hey, Paul!
See, I should have gone with my original gut then, because that was my first thought. But I'm like, there's no way that Tanner
We're
would
that
make
close
it that
to
easy.
it. Isn't that neat? I mean,
So,
we're
all right.
It's a nice lake. Well, maybe we can get you out on the water too, Paul,
Yeah.
with your newfound knowledge of
Yes.
what we've got around here. And John, I want to thank you for what
Thanks,
you're doing in our
everybody.
county and
Yeah.
for sharing this morning, educating us a little bit. I bought my fishing license on the DNR website. Really nice website for resources too.
Very, very user friendly.
Yep, I applaud that. I thought it was great, and I'm probably going to go down some rabbit trails on that website a little bit more after this morning. So, thanks so much for being our guest this morning.
Thanks, Evan, for having me. Paul, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
We're going to end with some words of wisdom from a novelist. Try to leave the earth a better place than when you arrived. That's Sidney Sheldon.
Those are great words of wisdom. All right, Evan, thank you so much. We'll see you guys again next week.
Thanks, Paul.